Chapter 6. The drive was silent. The rain hammered the roof of the Rover, sealing them in a private, moving capsule. Cybella sat pressed against the door. Travis sat relaxed, one leg crossed over the other, watching her. He reached into a compartment and pulled out a crystal tumbler. He poured a small amount of amber liquid. Drink. I don't want... Drink, he repeated. It wasn't a shout. It was a stone dropping into a well. Cybella took the glass. Her hands trembled so much the liquid rippled. She took a sip. It burned going down, fire in her throat that settled into a warm coil in her stomach. Whiskey, expensive, strong. Where are we going? She asked, the burn giving her a fraction of courage. Your penthouse? No, Travis said. The penthouse is for business. You are not business. The car slowed, turning off the highway onto a winding private road. Lightning flashed, illuminating high stone walls and iron gates that swung open automatically. They drove up a long tree-lined driveway to a sprawling estate that looked less like a home and more like a fortress. Gray stone, dark windows, gargoyles perched on the eaves watching the storm. The car stopped. The driver opened the door with an umbrella ready. Travis gripped her arm, guiding her up the stone steps. The double doors opened before they reached them. A staff of 4 stood in the foyer. A butler, 2 maids, and a cook, lined up like soldiers. They kept their heads bowed. But Cybella's eyes were drawn to the man standing in the center of the foyer. He wore judicial robes. Judge Holloway, Travis acknowledged, shaking the water from his coat. The judge, a man Cybella recognized from the nightly news, looked pale and sweaty. Mr. Prowell, I trust the arrangements are satisfactory. Let's get on with it, Travis said. He turned to Cybella. Coat. He peeled her wet coat off her shoulders, leaving her shivering in the silk white dress. He handed the coat to a maid without looking at her. Travis, Cybella whispered, panic rising. What is this? I told you, he said, taking her hand and pulling her toward the small table the judge had set up. I don't leave loose ends. On the table sat a single document and 2 heavy fountain pens. A marriage license. We are doing this now? She asked, her voice shrill. At 1 a.m, in a hallway. We are doing this now, Travis confirmed. Before you step 1 foot further into my home, you enter as my wife, or you do not enter at all. And if I don't enter, then you go back to your father, and tomorrow morning the auditors arrive at his firm, the police arrive at his house, and by noon he will be in a cell he will never leave. It wasn't a threat, it was a promise. Cybella picked up the pen. It felt heavy, like a weapon she didn't know how to use. She pressed the nib to the paper. Her hand shook, but she forced the ink to flow. Cybella Marie Vane. The last time she would ever write it. She dropped the pen. Travis picked up the second one. His signature was sharp, aggressive, slashing across the line. Done. He turned to her. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a ring. It wasn't a diamond. It was a band of dark, gunmetal gray steel, inlaid with a vein of crushed sapphire that matched his eyes. He took her left hand. "Gold is soft," he said quietly, sliding the ring onto her finger. It fit perfectly. It bends. It breaks. This is steel. It endures. He lifted her hand to his lips and kissed the ring, his eyes never leaving hers. "Welcome home, Mrs. Prowell."